Well, welcome back, everyone. So, right now I am going in reverse order for. Let me bring this whole thing here. So, I'm going to do a reverse order and I'm going to go from the psychology chapter this time. The goal is just to get them over with as soon as possible. So let's start with the chapter 8 in psychology, which is about social processes, attitudes, and behavior. So we have group psychology. So now we're getting into groups, right? Just until chapter 7, which was all about psychological disorders, it's all about the individual. But now we're going into the territory of social psychology. So let's start with group psychology. So we have social facilitation, where you describe the tendency of people to perform at a different level when others are around. So kind of makes sense because you are facilitating the sociability factor, right? The extroversion factor. So the tendency of people to perform at a different level when others are around. Could it, I think it's here, it could be both worse or better, right? And it's about performance. Let me get this to yellow. So it's about performance and a different level when others are around. So that's social facilitation. Then we have de-individuation. I think I have come across this multiple times. And de-individuation means that you are kind of not selfish, right? A loss of self-awareness in large groups. So you no longer have self-awareness in during de-individuation. I think a good example that was given was about the Protestants, right? The people who go protesting, they actually lose their self-awareness and they just go with the flow of the large group, right? Then we have bystander effect. This one is easy for me. I've come across it dozens of times perhaps, and it's about uh, people standing by side of some incident or something that happened and someone is in need, and when in a group, individuals are less likely to respond to the person in need. Then we have peer pressure, and oops, I forgot to start my timer. Then we have peer pressure. So the social peer pressure, we know it. It's the pressure you feel from your friends, your in group perhaps, the social influence placed on individuals by others they consider equals. You consider your peers equals. Then we have social loafing. I think this comes to, is it delegating? So an individual does not pull his or her weight in a group setting. Yeah, you're kind of delegating everything to the group. And this is social loafing. Loaf, we have loaf of bread, right? What is the meaning of loaf, right? Let's see. Loaf. Does it give me that? Here. Yeah, let's see what's actually the meaning of loafing. Loaf as a verb, idle one's time away, typically by aimless wandering or loitering. Don't let him see you loafing around. So you're wasting people's time. Don't let him see you loafing around with your hands in your pockets. loafing around, right? And we have here waste time again. Yeah, so it actually means wasting time. Doesn't mention anything about a loaf of bread. So you're wasting everyone else's time because you're just not pulling your weight in a group setting. Then we have polarization. So polarization is a tendency toward making decisions in a group that are more extreme. There's more extreme polarization. Oh, so everyone is down to kill someone, for example. However, none of them are murderers. Just because they're together, they make an extreme decision. Then we have groupthink, is the tendency for groups to make decisions based on ideas and solutions that arise within the group without considering outside ideas. So it's kind of the same thing with groupthink. Is for groups, the tendency for groups to make decisions based on ideas and solutions that arise within the group without considering outside ideas. They don't think about others, they just think about themselves. And we have also culture, so it's the beliefs, ideas, behaviors, actions, and characteristics of a group or society. So the culture, we know what it is. It also consists of actions and characteristics of a group or society. Then we have assimilation. It's the process by which an immigrant or minority takes up elements of mainstream culture. So you see immigrants having the American culture. Assimilation is a specific type of socialization. To experience assimilation, a person must first have their own culture. You must have your own culture beforehand. Then absorb elements of a new culture. For multiculturalism, the encouragement of multiple cultures within a community to enhance diversity. So multiple cultures within a community to enhance diversity. Then we have subcultures. It's a group of people within a culture that distinguish themselves from the primary culture. And then we talk about attitudes and behavior. So attitudes are tendencies toward, so when it comes to attitudes, I think about actions, right? Same for behavior. So tendencies toward expression of positive or negative feelings or evaluations of something. Attitude has three components. It's A, B, C: affective, behavioral, and cognitive. Then we have functional attitudes theory. It states that there are four functional areas of attitudes: knowledge, ego expression, adaptability, and ego defense. So functional attitude theory is the first one. Then we have learning theory. It states that attitudes are developed through forms of learning, direct contact, direct interaction, direct instruction, and conditioning. Then we have elaboration likelihood model. It states that attitudes are formed and changed through different routes of information processing based on degree of elaboration, central root processing, and peripheral root processing. Elaboration likelihood model. Different routes of information processing. In social cognitive theory, states that attitudes are formed through watching others, personal factors in the environment. People change their behavior and attitudes based on observation. Then we have socialization, the process of internalizing the social norms and values expected in one's society. Then we have sanctions. positive and negative. Positive is a reward for a certain behavior, and then we have a negative sanction, which is a punishment for a certain behavior. We have formal sanction, an official reward or punishment. We have informal, a sanction that is not enforced or punished by an authority, but that occurs in everyday interactions with other people, asking someone to lower their voice in a movie theater is informal sanction. Then we have norms. So norms are determine they determine the boundaries of acceptable behavior within a society. Mores, informal norms with major importance for society, and if broken can result in severe sanctions. For example, drug abuse is not socially acceptable, right or wrong. Then we have folkways. These things are informal norms that are less significant, yet they still shape our everyday behavior. Holding a door open for someone, right or rude. These examples are great. So holding a door, drug abuse. Then we have taboos. They are considered unacceptable by almost every culture, like cannibalism or incest. Then we have stigma, the extreme disapproval or dislike of a person or group based on perceived differences from the rest of society. Then we have defiance, deviance, violation of norms, rules, or expectations in a society. So the drug abuser is a form of deviance. And we have differential association theory. Deviance can be learned through our interactions with others. People commit crimes, at least in part, because of their associations with other people. Then we have conformity, changing beliefs or behaviors in order to fit into a group or society. Then we have compliance, when individuals change their behavior based on the requests of others. So what is the difference between conformity, compliance, obedience? So again, conformity is changing your beliefs and behaviors in order to fit into a group. Compliance, when individuals change their behavior based on the request. So there's a request involved. So that's fit into a group. Compliance is about requests, and obedience is a change in behavior based on command from someone seen as an authority figure. Authority figure, command, right? Cool. We're also done with our time here. So we're good with chapter 8 here. Right now I feel like doing a Cars passage, to be honest. So let's do that. So let's open let's do this passage. So it's 7 questions, and we just need to do it in under 11 minutes. I might do it out loud in few spots, so bear with me here.